Hey guys, Matt here with BuiltRight. As you can see, we're in our expansion warehouse right now with our 2023 Raptor R&D vehicle. We picked this up about 6 months ago with the goal of turning it into the perfect daily driver. We've done that over the course of the last 15 videos or so. Of course, these Raptors are amazing off the lot, so there's not a whole lot of changes to be made, but we did make a lot of little tweaks and added some modifications, and we're going to walk you through that right now, so let's check it out. Alright, so one of the things we started with was upgrading our engine bay a little bit here. As you can see, we got a bunch of goodies here from COBB, from their carbon fiber Redline series. We did their intake. We did their scoop upgrade here to keep that factory scoop from collapsing. And then we've got the COBB carbon fiber coolant reservoir cover. This stuff all works really nice. The install was a piece of cake. And of course, it looks awesome. All right, so in addition to what you can see in the engine bay, we do have a COBB factory location front mount intercooler in here, paired with a TurboSmart vent to atmosphere blow-off valve. Those also fit perfectly, easy install. You can't really see them here, so we'll drop some B-roll into the video. All right, so then the last thing we've got under the hood is our wiring situation. We did install some A-pillar lights, which we'll show you in a second. But we've got a Kaizen Relay controlling those A-pillar lights so that we can strobe them on and off. We also developed that fuse block panel that's hiding under here using the Blue Sea fuse block and a circuit breaker there. So still some wiring to tidy up here as this continues to change, but that's the update there. We tied into the upfitter switches, so we had the battery in and out a couple of times. That is it for the engine bay. So up here outside of the hood, we have our stubby antenna. Of course, that's always a nice touch. And then we've got, is it weird that my hands are all I don't need to be touching everything. You're fine. Up in front here, we of course have our stubby antenna. That's a nice little upgrade, easy piece of cake there. And then we've got our Baja designs. We went with Squadron Sport. These are amber lenses, obviously, on these SDHQ mounts. These SDHQ mounts are super, super solid. The Baja Designs lights are super bright. We probably will swap these out for XL80s pretty soon, but these have actually proven to be really, really useful. So that's what we got going on there. So moving inside the truck, we of course have our Dash Mount Pro up here in the dash. We took this tray out, we mounted the support plate underneath, we got the Pro installed. We also ran some wires from up here down into the passenger side footwell here for constant power. And then we've attached to that dash mount, we have a variety of Mountech accessories. We've got a medium-sized arm with the phone holder over here, and then we've got a longer arm holding the head unit, the display for our ICOM 5100 radio, which we'll talk more about in a sec. And then also up front, inside of our center console, we've got our center console tech plate kit here, holding, right now it happens to have a knife and a flashlight. We experimented with a handful of different stuff. I'll probably show you some pictures of that as well. All right, so then in the back here on the passenger side, we've got one of our rigidly mounted seatback MOLLE panel setups. Up top, we've got more Mountech accessories attached to it so we can hold a phone or an iPad for my kids. And then below that, we've got a pack-out mount with a small pack-out case here, perfect for really miscellaneous stuff in my case. We've got a fire extinguisher mount over there. The fire extinguisher doesn't happen to be in it at the moment, but great way to mount things in the back seat, keep you from flying around. And you can't see it now because I've got a booster seat here, but if I were to lower the seat back here, you would see the rear seat back MOLLE panel back here that is housing the controller for our radio unit and some of the wiring associated with that. And on the other side, below the seat bottom, again, I've got a car seat in the way, but we did make a MOLLE panel seat bottom divider. That's a nice replacement for the OEM plastic piece, or if you don't even have that piece, as a nice way to keep things from rolling around the bottom of your rear seat area. All right, so not to be forgotten, on top of the truck is our bulletproof diesel third brake light antenna mount. Really cool billet spacer kit that mounts in between the truck and the third brake light to provide a mounting point for our antenna for our radio system. So that install was a lot of fun. All right, so of course in the bed we have our bedside panels. I'll just go panel by panel here. On the rear driver's side panel, we've got some Mountech gear with a little rigid spot here for kind of an articulating accessory light. We've got a Rotopax mount and one of their 3-gallon cans here. That is secured along with the shovel using the new BuiltRight Industries lock mount and a Master Lock Python lock. We've got a set of original length riser mounts, one on this rear panel and then one on the forward panel, holding our ShovelTech shovel. So that's how we're making use of the panels on the driver's side. And then up on the cab wall or the bulkhead, we've got our bar system, that's bulkhead accessory rail. We happen to have mounted a set of prototype traction board mounts. That video is pretty interesting if you like watching us kind of develop products. So we've got 4 MaxTrax boards here. On the right-hand side, we left space for a small universal MOLLE panel. We call them tech plates. On that panel, we've got a pair of super clamp riser mounts holding a larger fire extinguisher. All right, so on this forward panel here on the passenger side, we've got one of our MOLLE pouches. This has got some recovery gear in it. And then finally on the rear passenger side panel, we've got a power tank with a power tank mount and some accessories, a patch kit, that kind of thing. And then, of course, all of this is protected further by the Back Industries revolver tonneau cover that rolls up, locks, that keeps everything safe and secure. All right, so that is where we're at with our 2023 Raptor build. Obviously, thanks to our friends and partners in the industry who have, in some cases, provided product, or in other cases, just recommended product. You guys are asking us all the time for recommendations on things beyond the BuiltRight Industries brand, and so we really like to have hands-on experience with those things prior to recommending them, so this is a great way for us to do this. You guys are also giving us some great feedback, and it sounds like you really like this type of build, project, product development content, and so we have a really solid plan to create more and more of that content going forward. Check back next week.